Hello student, in this video I will be giving you the answers with explanation of the MCQ worksheet that I have given you in the last class. Okay, so starting with the first question, that is 8 nucleate embryo sac are always tetrasporic, always monosporic, always biosporic and sometimes monosporic, biosporic and tetrasporic. So student, we have discussed about the megasporogenesis, that is the formation of the embryo sac, okay, from the megaspore. So there student, we have learned how the megaspore mother cell, which is diploid in nature, the ploidy level is diploid, so it is undergoing first meiotic division to form two megaspores. Subsequently they will be undergoing second meiotic division to form four megaspores. Okay, so the megasporogenesis that we have learned in our chapter, that is the monosporic, where one megaspore will become the functional and the other three will degenerate. So that means student, the embryo sac will be formed from a single functional megaspore. Okay, so that is why it is known as monosporic. Okay, so in the angiospermic family student, there are different type of plants are present. Okay, so they are showing different type of embryo sac formation. For example student, they can be monosporic just like this one, where only one functional megaspore is there. Okay, that is undergoing rapid mitotic divisions and they are forming the embryo sac, so it is monosporic. Okay, so typical monosporic embryo sac development can be seen in Polygonum. Similarly student, coming to the biosporic. So what is biosporic? In biosporic you will find that out of the four megaspore, two will remain functional and the other two will become non-functional and they will degenerate. So from these two functional megaspore, the embryo sac will be formed. So this is known as the biosporic. So biosporic 8 nucleate embryo sac you can see in Allium. Okay, so Allium is of the onion family. Okay, onion, then garlic. Okay, then student, coming to the tetrasporic. So tetrasporic means where all the four megaspores, they will remain functional. Okay, so this is tetrasporic. So tetrasporic you can find in this one student, in Fritillaria. Okay, so these are all the example of different plant family where the megaspores are remaining functional and this functional megaspore is dividing to form the embryo sac. So student, the answer of the first question will be the number 4. That is sometimes monosporic, sometimes biosporic and sometimes tetrasporic. Now student, moving to the next question. The next question is double fertilization leading to initiation. Student, this one will be initiation. Okay, so I have told you in the class also, this one will be initiation. Okay, so student, double fertilization leading to initiation of endosperm in angiosperm require. Okay, so student, this thing we have done in the class. We have studied the double fertilization. So double fertilization is a unique event. Okay, it is a unique event that is specific to the angiosperm. Okay, that we have studied. So what happens in the double fertilization student? In double fertilization you will find that the pollen grain, they are dividing and they are forming the two male gametes. Okay, so the two male gamete is entering inside the embryo sac. Okay, so the embryo sac is designed like this. Okay, so 3 antipodal cells are there. Okay, these are antipodal cells. I'm not writing the full name student. Okay, this is the polar nuclei and these two are the synergids, and at the top or the proximal level of the synergid there is the egg present. So when the two male gametes, they are entering through the pollen tube, okay, So one of the male gamete is fertilizing with the egg, okay, and they are forming the zygote. And the another male gamete is fusing up with the polar nuclei. So the ploidy level of the polar nuclei, initially it is n plus n, because two nucleus are there in the polar nucleus. So again one male gamete will come and fuses with it, so they will form the primary endosperm nucleus, that is the pen. The ploidy level of this endosperm is triploid, okay. Now student, the question is, double fertilization leading to initiation of endosperm in angiosperms require, the option is fusion of one polar nucleus and the second male gamete, fusion of two polar nuclei and the second male gamete, fusion of four or more polar nuclei and the initiation and the second male gamete only, or all of the above kind of fusion in different. So student, we know that the polar nucleus is consisting of two nucleus, okay, so that is why we are calling it as nuclei, okay, we are calling it as nuclei, okay. Nuclei is the plural form of the nucleus. And the male gamete, okay, there are two male gametes are present inside the pollen tube. So the first male gamete, suppose this is the pollen tube student, which is entering inside the embryo sac. So the first male gamete is fusing up with the egg, okay, so zygote is being forming, okay. And the second male gamete, okay, the second male gamete is going to fuse up with the polar nuclei, okay. So it is forming the triple fusion. This step is known as the triple fusion, and they are forming the primary endosperm nucleus, which is also known as pen, okay. So student, the answer of the question number 2 will be number 2, this one, okay. So the other options are wrong, okay. The answer will be number 2. Now student, moving to the next question. The next question is, student, in angiosperm, all the 4 microspores of tetrad are covered by a layer which is formed by, okay, the options are, the first one is pectocellulose, then the second one is callose, and the third one is cellulose, then the fourth one is sporopollenin. Okay, so student, this pectocellulose is a type of fiber, okay, which is present in the cell wall of some Gramineae family plants, okay. For example, the monocots, okay, wheat, barley, bajra, okay. So this rice also, student. So this type of cell wall composition can be found in these monocot plants, okay. Then comes the callose, student, okay. So callose, these are present in the pollen mother cell, okay. So they are present in the pollen mother cell. Student, you all know that pollen mother cell is just like the MMC, that is the megaspore mother cell. So pollen mother cell, okay. So pollen mother cell, they also having the ploidy level of diploid, okay, 2n. So this undergoes rapid meiotic division, that is the reductional division, and they will form the microspores, okay. So during the stage of this PMC, okay, that is in the diploid stage only, the callose layers, okay, the callose layers will deposited, okay, they will get deposited on the outer surface of the PMC. And when this PMC will undergo meiotic division to form the pollen grains or the microspores, this callose will be transferred to that part also, okay. So the answer will be, student, the callose, okay, for the number 3, callose. Then student, the cellulose. You all know that cellulose is the main composition for the plant cell wall, okay. It is the main composition of the plant cell wall. And then comes the sporopollenin. Sporopollenin is the component which is present on the outer surface of the pollen grain. So student, you have studied about the structure of the pollen grain. Pollen grain, they can be of different shapes, student, okay. So basically they are spherical, and the outer layer, it is spiny, okay, it is spiny. because the outer layer consists of the exine. Okay, the outer layer is known as the exine and the inner soft layer is called the intine. Okay, so these exine, student, they are very much tough and they give protection to the pollen grains. As you know, student, pollen grains are subjected to a lot of environmental changes. Okay, so that is why this exine gives more protection to the pollen grains, okay, to retain their viability for longer period of time. Okay, so this exine consists of this sporopollenin chemical. Okay, so you can find this sporopollenin on the exine surface of the pollen grain. So it is not present in the microspore. So the answer of number 3 is, student, number 2, that is the callus. Okay, now student, moving to the question number 4. So question number 4 is, student, what is the direction of micropyle in Anatropous ovule? So student, let me show you the picture of the Anatropous ovule. Okay, so student, this is the picture of the Anatropous ovule. So here you can see, student, the opening that is known as the micropyle. So it is present at the lower end. Okay, so this is known as the micropyle, through which normally the pollen tube enters during the fertilization after the pollination. Okay, so in Anatropous ovule you will find the micropyle end is situated downward. Okay, and in Orthotropous ovule, in this picture you will find that the micropyle is situated upward. Okay, so in Anatropous ovule the micropyle will be situated towards the funiculus. Okay, so the answer will be, student, for question number 4 will be number 2, downward. Okay. Okay, now student, the next question, question number 5. In a flowering plant, Archisporium gives rise to only tapetum, sporogenous cell, only wall of the sporangium, then the this option. Third option is both wall and sporogenous cell, and the fourth one is the wall and the tapetum. So now student, let me tell you what is this Archisporium cell is. Okay, so Archisporium, student, this is the cell from which the mother cell, okay, the Archisporium cell is that cell from which the mother cells are being formed. Okay, mother cells are formed. Okay, so these mother cells can be pollen mother cell and can be megaspore mother cell. So that means this is normally one equal division. Okay, that means they undergoes this thing, mitotic divisions. So this Archisporium, they undergoes two type of division. Okay, they divides periclinally. Okay, they divides periclinally, and they will form two type of cell. Okay, the one is parietal cell. Okay, parietal cell, that is the outer cell, and the sporogenous cell, that is the mother cell. Sporogenous cell. Okay, so student, from the Archisporium we can get the mother cell as well as the wall of the mother cell. Okay, that is the covering cell of the mother cell. So student, the answer of number 5 will be option number 3. Okay, both wall and sporogenous cell. Okay, so the option is number 3. Now student, coming to the question number 6. Okay, so question number 6 is the arrangement of the nuclei in a normal embryo sac in the dicot plant is. Okay, so this is a very easy question, student. If I draw the mature embryo sac, okay, so mature embryo sac, you all know that 3 antipodal cells are there, then pollen nuclei is there, then the synergate along with the egg is there. So these are the cells arranged inside the embryo sac. So student, if you see the arrangement, okay, so at the above 3 cells are there, in the middle 2 nucleus are there. Okay, and over here along with the synergate 1, 2 and 3. So this will be the arrangement of the embryo sac. So the option for question number 6 will be number 1, student. 3, 2, 3. Okay, so we have to go in a chronological order. Okay, so the right option will be number 1, 3 plus 2 plus 3. Okay, now student, moving to the question number 7. So question number 7 is, which of the following pairs of plant structures has haploid number of chromosome? Okay, so all the options, I think these are from the embryo sac. Okay, so the first option is, student, the first option is megaspore mother cell and antipodal cell, then egg cell and antipodal cell. Third option is nucellus and antipodal cells. Fourth option is egg nucleus and secondary nucleus. Okay, so student, the correct answer will be number 2. Okay, egg cell and antipodal cell. Say, student, the egg which is present in the micropylar region, they have ploidy level of N. Okay, a single set of chromosome is there. Similarly, the antipodal cells, okay, the antipodal cells are present in 3 numbers. So 3 of them, they are having only one set of chromosome. So they are also haploid. Okay, they are all N. Okay, and if you see the first option, megaspore mother cell is diploid. Okay, then nucellus is also diploid. Okay, nucellus is also diploid. Okay, egg nucleus, secondary nucleus, they are, one is haploid and the another one is diploid. So the correct answer will be number 2, student. Okay, number 2. Then, student, moving to the next question. The next question is male gamete in angiosperm are formed by the division of, the first option is microspore, then the second option is generative cell, third option is vegetative cell, and the last option is microspore mother cell. Okay, so student, coming to the first option, that is the microspore. Microspores, they are itself known as the pollen grains. Okay, then the generative cell. Okay, generative and vegetative cell, let me tell you about these two cells, student. So when the pollen grains, okay, suppose this is the pollen grain, so they fall on the stigma. Okay, so this is the stigma. Okay, so after coming on the platform of the stigma, that is the perfect pollination. Okay, so they will produce the pollen tube. Okay, so this is the germination of the pollen grain. So this pollen tube, they will consist of pollen nucleus. So now this nucleus will divide into 2 cells. Okay, first of all, 2 cells will be there. Okay, so one is vegetative cell and another one is the generative cell. Okay, so when this pollen tube will come through all the length of the style of the gynoecium. Okay, so during that course of traveling, the vegetative cell, they will disintegrate. So only the remaining cell will be the generative cell. Now this generative cell, they will produce the 2 male gamete. Okay, so student, the correct answer for number 8 is number 2, that is the generative cell. Okay, the answer will be number 2, generative cell. Now student, coming to the next question, question number 9. Question number 9. A population of genetically identical individuals obtained from asexual reproduction, okay, is. So student, asexual reproduction means all the offspring, all the filial generation, they will be of the similar type. Okay, they will be genetically similar. Okay, so that's mean they are also known as the clone. Okay, so number 9 answer will be clone, student. Okay. Okay, so student, coming to the next question, question number 10. Okay, so question number 10 is fertilization in involving carrying of male gametes by pollen tube is, okay, so there are four options. One is porogamy, siphonogamy, then chalazogamy, and syngonogamy. So student, first of all, let me explain you the four terms, okay. So student, normally in angiosperm you have seen that through the pollination, once the pollination has done, okay, the pollen tube will be formed, okay, and this pollen tube will travel up to the ovary and where the fertilization will take place, okay. So this type is known as, okay, where the male gametes are carrying through the pollen tube, okay, so this type is known as siphonogamy, okay. So this type of means fertilization which is being done by the enlargement or by the elongation of the pollen tube up to the embryo sac is known as siphonogamy, okay. And coming to the porogamy, student, so porogamy means when the pollen tube they are entering through the micropylar end, okay, so they are entering through the micropylar end. So student, see, this is the embryo sac, okay, so above it there will be the style and the stigma will be there, okay, like this. So when the pollen tube is entering through the micropylar end, that's mean the lower end, so where the egg is there, so this type of process is known as porogamy. This is known as porogamy, okay. Then the opposite one, student, of this porogamy is known as the chalazogamy, okay. So when the pollen tube is entering from the antipodal parts, okay, so the pollen tube will enter from the antipodal parts, so this is known as chalazogamy. And the fourth option is syngonogamy. In syngonogamy, student, there will be no formation of pollen tube is seen, okay, so the pollen tube will be not formed, okay. So the correct answer for this one, student, number 10 is siphonogamy, okay. So now moving to the next question. Okay, so student, the next question, question number 11, okay, the number of meiotic divisions. So student, there is a slight mistake, the number of not neurotic, it will be meiotic, okay, meiotic, okay, so that is the reductional division, okay. So number of meiotic divisions required to produce 200 by 400 seeds of pea would be, okay, so this 200 by 400 means, student, the ratio of the pollen grains and the pollen grain mother cell and by the megaspore mother cell and the megaspore, okay, so this ratio is for this, okay. So I am just showing this thing in the board. This ratio, student, which has been given like this, 200 by 400, okay. So 200 is for the pollen grain, okay, so pollen grain plus the PMC, that is the pollen grain mother cell, pollen mother cell, and this 400 is for the megaspore, okay, megaspore plus megaspore mother cell. Now student, coming to the calculation part, okay, so this is a very tricky question, okay. So student, we know that during the microsporogenesis, okay, that is the pollen mother cell is undergoing reductional division and they are forming, student, from a single pollen mother cell, okay, from single pollen mother cell we can get 4 microspores, okay, 4 microspores will be there, 4 microspores will be there, okay. So this is the thing, and from single MMC we will get only single megaspore. This is the starting of the calculation, student. Now it is said that 200 pollen grains, okay, 200 pollen grains are there. So 200 pollen grains, that means, student, we only require 50 pollen mother cell for the production of 200 pollen grain. Okay, for the production of pollens, 200 pollens, we only need 50 PMC, because this 50 PMC is undergoing twice mitotic division. As a result, they will form 200 pollen grains, 50 into 4. Okay, so they will form 200 pollen grains. Now these 200 pollen grains, they will fuse with 200 megaspore, or they will fertilize inside the embryo sac. So this 200 will need 200 megaspore or embryo sac for the fertilization, and then 200 seeds will be formed, because each one of the zygote, they will develop into a means different fruit, and from fruit we will get the seeds. Okay, now student, coming to the megaspore. So for the production of 400 seeds, okay, for the production of the 400 seeds, we need 400 megaspore. Okay, these 400 megaspores will come from 400 megaspore mother cell. So this is the equal division. Okay, so in case of megaspore, the equation will be similar. Okay, so the n number of megaspore mother cell will give rise to n number of megaspores. So that means student, in question number 11, the ratio, okay, the ratio will be, student, see, if we are producing 200, so student, from single pollen mother cell we are getting 4 microspores, and from single mother cell of megaspore we are getting single megaspore. Okay, so this is the ratio of 1:1. Okay, whereas it is the ratio between 1:4. Okay, but student, if this is the ratio, then the ratio will be like this. Okay, the divisions will be 200 by 400 meiotic division. But student, we are forgetting the extra division, because meiotic division is taking place twice. Okay, so pollen mother cell, they will undergo 250 meiotic division, whereas the megaspore mother cell, they will be undergoing extra 100 meiotic division for the production of 200 mature embryo sac or the megaspore. Okay, so the answer will be, student, for question number 11, it will be number 4. It will be number 4, 250 by 500. Now student, moving to the next question, question number 12. In an angiosperm, how many microspore mother cells are required to produce 100 pollen grains? Okay, 100 pollen grains. Student, this will be pollen grain. Okay, so student, just now we have seen the ratio, PMC is to 4 microspore. That means 1:4. So for the production of 100 pollen grains, okay, for the production of the 100 pollen grains, we need 25 pollen mother cell or the microspore mother cell. Okay, so we need 25 pollen mother cell. So the answer of number 12, student, it will be number 1. Okay, now student, moving to the question number 13. So 13 is polyembryony commonly occurs in. Okay, so polyembryony means, student, where rapid cleavage will take place in the embryo stage. Okay, as a result, the embryos will be divided into many. Okay, so the common example of polyembryony, student, it is seen in citrus. Okay, so citrus, there are different ranges or different species of citrus fruits are there. Okay, sweet orange, lemon and grape fruit. Okay, so each one of the pieces, okay, each one of the pieces of the lemon, okay, which is juicy, okay, that represent one single embryo. Okay, so citrus is the common fruit which shows the polyembryony. Now student, the next, so the answer of question number 13 is citrus, number 1. Okay, now student, moving to number 14. Okay, this is also very interesting question. So number 14 is a diploid female plant. Okay, so diploid, it is normal. Okay, normal diploid plant, and a tetraploid male plant. Okay, tetraploid means the ploidy level of that male plant is 4n. Okay, so they are crossed. So the ploidy, okay, the chromosome number, the ploidy of endosperm shall be, okay. So student, let's see this thing on the board. Okay, so the female is normal diploid. Okay, so normal diploid is there, so that's mean the megaspore mother cell of that female. Okay, so megaspore mother cell is diploid, as usual it is diploid. So it is undergoing the double meiotic division and they are forming the megaspore. Okay, so this megaspore will be haploid N. Okay, so it's okay. Now the abnormality lies in the male plant, okay, which is tetraploid. Okay, so tetraploid means, student, obviously the male, that is pollen mother cell. Okay, so that ploidy level will be 4n. Okay, so it is undergoing meiotic division. So meiotic division means it is the reductional division. So after undergoing meiotic division, student, all the pollen grains, okay, all the pollen grains that will be formed, they will be halved. Okay, that's mean the half of the 4n will be 2n. Okay, so 2n will be the ploidy level of all pollen grains. Okay, so now what will happen? They will fuse together. Okay, so the question is that what will be the ploidy level of the endosperm? Okay, so we are asked that we have to find the ploidy level of endosperm. So we all know that endosperm is the resultant of the fusion of the polar nuclei. So this pollen grain is going to fuse up with the polar nuclei. Okay, so polar nuclei, the ploidy level of polar nuclei will be same. Okay, it consists of n plus n. Okay, because it consists of two nucleus inside one single cell. So this pollen grain, which is diploid in nature, so it is going to fuse up with the polar nuclei. As a result, the endosperm will be formed. But what will be the ploidy? 2n for the male gamete, okay, or the pollen grain, n plus n. So it will be equivalent to 4n. Okay, so student, the answer of number 14 is tetraploid. Okay, number 1 tetraploid, 4n. Okay, number 1 4n. Okay, now student, moving to the next question, the last question. So the last question, student, it has been discussed earlier also. So the entry of pollen tube through micropyle is known as porogamy. Okay, the answer will be porogamy. The answer will be porogamy, number 3. Okay, so student, all the question answer of this worksheet of MCQ has been discussed. Okay, so again a new set of MCQs will be given to you. Okay, so in this way, hopefully I will explain you all the answers of the MCQ. Bye students.